Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeView Markets, TradeGATEHub, sponsored by TradeView Markets. You know, it's Monday, it's October 17th, and I'm going to get right to the point. This before I go into anything, and the redundancy is going to start to dissipate in that Monday is the most what I consider the most important amount of data or most important day when it comes to the data that I put out, because first of all, it's a lot of data compiled over the weekend, that I like everybody to also, it's more reading material, pardon me, more macro reading material. Obviously, a lot to have a lot has to do with the markets. The shorter term, uh, shorter term is for really the daily situations. The weekend and what I put out on Monday is very important. Okay, so let's sign in. I sign in just the same as everybody else. TradeGATEHub. All right, so I'm just going to get to the point, like I said before. Make sure I'm sharing this properly. This is the stamp right here. On Monday morning. And by the way, if you miss anything, this is the most important feature of TradeGATEHub right here. This red YouTube channel. If you do miss something, pause it. The team posts the TradeGATEHub YouTube channel. So if you miss something, or you want to see part of my screen and know my positions, know what a coach and I are doing, you know what I mean? Pause it. You see something that coaches is looking at, pause it and go back and write it down. That's how I take notes on my peers' videos, or when I started doing this to try to get better. That's what I did. So please take advantage of that. So let's get into Monday. And this is really the amazing situation right here. It is just an unbelievable stat. And Bespoke is a major Twitter feed. If you're not following it, you should. It's unbiased. It gives stats. I love stats. I literally love stats. This is an unbelievable one. And this is going back on Friday. If today's 1% decline holds for the SPY, which it did, 36.5% of all the days to end the trading week will have been 1% down days. 1%. That's one third, 1%. And that is unheard of. And you know what? Anybody that wants, it doesn't, listen, I'm not giving an opinion of where we are or where we're going. It gives you an idea of what type of environment this is. So you know what? The oldest cliches that you ever heard, that resonated when you became a trader, like don't average down, stay with the trend, cash is king, weather the storm until the good, don't keep, don't let you need a chip in a chair. In other words, don't let your capital outlay dissipate. You need money, you need capital in order to go. So don't let that dissipate, because by the time, the bounce comes, you're never going to make the money back on the bounce. So you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, you're not going to be sure, you're not short of ideas on TradeGATEHub or financial instruments. We trade everything across the board, predominantly. If not, we know what we're doing to it. Coach I and Tim all to put together, as well as one of the higher level TradeGate peers traders. But that's a stat you got to be wary of. All right, so let's start the day. And this is the routine. And Coach made a part of our routine, by the way, Monday morning routine is this. And Monday's tradition on to Helene's charts. And I got a pleasant surprise in Coach bringing, by the way, good morning, Mike. By the way, Helene will be back with us next month. And by the way, for somebody who doesn't know who Helene is, and I could point to the variety of Coach's guests, Helene, by the way, regardless of gender, probably had the exact resume that I wanted to shoot for when I was younger in Wall Street. Helene has 186,000 followers, and believe me, just like a TradeView tradition, hers are quality, not quantity followers. So, Coach, bravo again, always getting high-level people on, better and better, and it's all it's from the beginning. It's really hard to go over the bar with what Coach is bringing in here, but certainly we'll look forward to that. And even who's Coach's guest this Thursday at 9:30. And Coach also does a video with me at 11 o'clock Eastern that Thursday. We do the videos Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 Eastern right now. And by the way, it's just, we post Helene's charts. We've been doing it even before Coach had Helene on. So we're very happy to have Coach and Helene as well when the time comes. All right, macro. This is always my sign on macro market picture. There it is. And I've been posting this the whole time, even though I'm an active intraday swing trader. And we've been saying that swing is not the way to go, by the way, especially with the moves going up and down the last 2 weeks. Every Friday's been closing on the low. Of course, you're welcome, coach. And you know what? It's the last 2 Fridays have been, everybody's been waiting for the doom and gloom Monday. And I would say I think the stat is the last 8 out of 12 Mondays has been a down open when the Friday open has been poor. But you know what? As the market's been getting hurt more and the VIX has been getting elevated, everybody's been waiting for this final doom and gloom, just get it over with market movement. And when it does not happen, and just listen, go back to this is an important video. Go back a couple of weeks. I mean, I think maybe it was last Monday, one of my videos, and I was saying my preparation when it wasn't for doom and gloom. And just like this morning, when I saw that the currencies were stable and the European markets weren't out of whack, and the Asian indices were all positive, unless there was something when I was napping that would be some sort of, again, binary moves, I knew that the traps were going to be short, and that's what happens when you're lopsided. And I even brought that up last week, and Kramer said it. And I know everybody's anti-Kramer, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I want to bring this up as a point. I don't know if it's even here anymore because we have so many people posting that I can't even go back that far to see where our data is. But I wanted to yeah, it should be here. Okay, it's Kramer's job. Kramer. Trade the news. Great job, by the way, with that post. G Money. I remember that post on Friday. I'm cheating at work here. Job, cheating at work. We love cheaters and we love people that cheat at work, especially to trade. Actually, I don't love cheaters. I love the kid that sat next to me for my whole high school career that I cheated next to, right here, Kramer. This is right here. Kramer, relentless call people about the future CPI. No, that's not it. Sentiment trader. I got to bring it up. Okay, this is the same thing. And this is why I believe we're up today. And this was last Monday. Perhaps the short sellers who were using options to bid against yesterday's market didn't understand the power of instruments gone wrong. I mean, you see everybody's selling puts all the way. It's unbelievable what's going on here. Thanks, coach. All right, Monday morning routine. So listen, it's not knowing exactly what's going on in the market. It's why it's going on. You know what I mean? Anybody could read a number up and down. It's disseminating the information that we're here for. And you know what we're going to do? We'll start disseminating. Always go through Mike Santoli's a recap of what goes on last week. A great recap, a couple of minutes out of your life. Before this is all the posting before the close. So you know what? I think this goes back 3 months. And we didn't have the doom and gloom Monday. This was 1, 2, 3. We didn't have the doom and gloom Monday, and we shot up. This was a doom and gloom Monday, I believe. All right, panic euphoria, but people are starting to panic. Fear and greed, not really there yet for the washout, which is why people are waiting for the other proverbial shoe to drop. It hasn't happened yet. It still might not happen. Stocks in a bear market. Goldman. All right, so they're in cash. They're not short, but these guys are short. Hedge funds. No, where's the hedge funds? They're still short, but Goldman's in cash. Bank of America analyst comment. You could be a bull bear, whatever you want to be. That's their commentary. S&P, NASDAQ sentiment. Sentiment has been irrelevant in this market because it's been stretched. Okay, hedge funds has recently added their short exposure, so they're the shortest they've been in a while. And see what happens whenever they're dipping down, the market rallies. Whenever they're all short, they're offside. And Goldman's in cash. That might say something. Sector sentiment, that's for you, Lewis. I haven't really been trading that much later. Conversations Goldman's having with clients. Read it. You know what I mean? Even if it's wrong or you don't agree with it, read it. It's a high level opinion. All right, here's Aline's charts. The XME, pencil ridden. Bios. That's where they are right now. The XBI is underperforming today. Typical. XLE, energy, a little toppy. It's why they first ones to pull back today. Pardon me. As Lean and Coach would say, the homies, they're hanging in there. Well, that's relevant if you're hanging in. It depends how thick the pencil is. Oy. Long-term chart of the NAS, it's up to you. It changed today. Put call on the VIX, ratio in the VIX. If Lean's talking about it, we talk about it, and we're not the only ones talking about it. But people that like me, you, Coach, and me, and Helene talk about it, you should be looking at it, no matter what you think of it. All right, this is it. All right, so now, I don't think there's much Fed speak this week, as I posted the chart, and if you didn't see it coming up later. So as we take a pause with the inflationary talk, at least going with CPI and PPI and any type of economic number, now we see how the earnings and stocks are going to be affected by this. This is the second quarter of earnings where inflation is predominant, if you will, and that's So we have Tesla, Bank of America blew it away today, and that followed Goldman Sachs. J.P. Morgan was the first one to really give a nice number. Netflix is tonight. I'm long it. I'm not in proverbial all in. I like the way it's acting. I'll go to a chart in a second. So you have Goldman, Johnny John, the big daddy of biotech, of the XLV of healthcare. United Airlines, arguably the best of breed. Lockheed Martin, arguably the best of breed. NUE, arguably the best of breed in steel. Schlumberger, arguably the best of breed oil driller. Lam Research, arguably the best of breed semiconductor equipment maker. Freeport-McMoRan, not the best of breed, but it's amalgamation of that does everything in terms of commodities, if you will. It's arguable, but I'll play the AXP, to no surprise, the best of breed. I've been mugged. IBM, Procter and Gamble, best of breed out of consumer staples. So write these down. It's not if you play them tactically, but a lot of stocks, just like last quarter, that hung in there. Sans maybe a TTD that maybe had a short squeeze going. These stocks, maybe it's going to be as the dollar calms down and the bonds calm down, and seasonality starts to abate, and the market seems to be putting on a low, making a higher low. Now it comes to earnings. Write these things down. Maybe maybe inflation abates. Maybe stocks start taking the front seat, and the bonds and the dollar take a back seat. I'm not calling it that way, but let's see. With few economic datas and Fed speak today, and earnings, as you can see, prevalent this week. Let's see if it flips a little bit. It doesn't mean it has to in order to trade effectively. It's one of these keys or tells that I'm looking at to see if bad news is necessarily priced in the market. And by the way, there was a lot of nice upgrades today. Another record in relative put buying. So there's record put buying being offsides when Goldman's in cash, hedge funds are short. We're coming into earnings season, and inflation talk has been abating somewhat. That is a catalyst for a binary move. And you know what? These are been binary moves. As I said before, 36% of the moves have been 36% of the 1% moves have been on the downside so far this year. That's unheard of. It's incredible. That's why if you're holding your losers, some of them I'm not going to lie, I'm human too, but I'm going to get at it. I'm not going to lie either. Is that the trading's been phenomenal. So let's keep that in mind. The VIX is still over. Wait, hold on. Investing.com. Where's the VIX right here? The VIX is still over 30. That's still bearish, in my opinion, for the short term, but it's bullish for tactical and intermediate and short-term trading. Sentiment, okay, sectors, sentiment. Helene going all over things there. Good morning, Mike. How did the view? Record put buying. As I said before, this is the chart. Don't complicate it. This is simpler than it looks. Walmart chart, looking nice. IWM. There's a major chart here. I mean, these are tactical moves on the Russell that you can trade out of. Apple, same thing. I mean, you don't want to exactly. I mean, that's a healthy little, if you will, box area for it to base or settle, but it's there. Amazon, same thing. Nice mount today of $5 on Amazon. The SPY wedge, but you know what? You don't have to worry about this because you know what? Maybe the oil's pulled back, and it will start to be a rotational market again a little bit. Roblox, I had that overnight. That was posted hours ago, and thank God I shouldn't say that. They came out and said something positive about their metrics. I sold it a little bit too early, and that's what happens when you concentrate. And the stock's been down 9 days in a row, and it gets some relief, and it pops to 12%. Maybe it does go up 16 or 20%, but you're just so happy to get that 1 day move, which is hard money, by the way, that's why I did it. I still have a little bit. All right. And you don't care about anything. You don't have to. You don't care about a CPI. These are stocks with especially with Friday. Huge range, Tesla, NIO, XPEV, DNA, huge volume, huge range, and price action probably relative to the market. That's what you have to do. You don't care about anything. This is the list you do to take money out of the market today or the next day. Back in a bit. That was my plan. Good question, Lewis. But you know what? They never give you the dream setup. Now we're going to have to look at chasing a little bit. Bank of America, good news. Bank of New York, good news. Couple of good runners. You know, a couple of energy deals. Splunk. A guy says enough is enough. He's taking a 5% stake in Splunk. This guy said, I seen enough. You know what? He might be wrong. He might be right or whatever, but I get it. Another upgrade. What was the one that would upgrade? I don't want to try to look because I should remember. Net upgrade, a huge upgrade on net today. And that one's even somewhat overpriced. So we'll see when that finishes up. That doesn't look like a big range, but you know what? The past, 7 days from 62 to 48, that's a $14 move. Don't be skewed by my long-term charts. Let's go to a 5-minute, Lewis would say. 5 minutes going back to October 7th. So we'll go back, 7 trading days? Yeah, 60 to 45, $15 range. Get to know it. What's another one I wanted to point? We'll get back to charts in a second. Now I'm heating up a little bit as it gets to Monday. All right, clear. Big news. There was big news. Economic data, not that much on the docket. Nerve, all right. I didn't have much. There we go. Nerve had it. I feel bad for everybody that took out Nerve on Friday. It closed great. That's what happens with bios, binary. Nerve, you look like a hero from 14, about to break new highs for several years. And it did have some volume, and you wake up this morning, boom, 4, down 10. That sucks. Not looking to buy it. I have a friend of mine that's good with that. I don't know what to do. You know what? Next, I'm not doing those stocks anymore. You know what I mean? It's just not that's not, I don't need to do those. You know what I mean? I could look at the bigger picture. All right, Roblox. Moss was a short. Where was that? Did that work? Moss is a short. And why did I like Moss as a short? Huge up open. Moss is inflationary, going the other way. It's got every moving average up there. And you know what? The short, the open rallied a little bit, 48.5, 47.5. And you covered it basically at the gap. You took $1 out of there. I'm not saying it's something you salivate to and you might have been going at the market, but you know what? It fit the bill. Moss was a short. I do like Netflix. Has earnings tonight. Stay tuned later to what I'm going to do. Obviously not a big position. A lot of calls going in Unity Software. Stocks that gap up and going higher, important to know. Resistance, important to know. What's even more important to know is this. What are the big guys doing as of 11:20 on a Monday morning? I know they're not going to chase, but they're doing this. Early morning update. USB calls. Why not? Banks are hot. Slob bearish. So that's good. What is this? The dollar. No, that's the bond yields. Bond yields. Where are they, by the way? 4.4. These bastards got to stay. They got to stay below 4.4. No, they got to stay below 4. Coach will, but you know what? If I want to know, I'll probably watch the 9:30 video with Coach. He'll probably tell me. Indices just following yields. That's correct. Bottom line is, for now, indices are following yields. We came in a little bit on now we're looking to bottom a little bit on the futures. They came in a little bit. So that we have the volatility index, put call ratio cooling off, 2-year bond up volume. Listen, things cooled off a little bit. Let things cool off. Stocks made their move. There's, everybody's offside. GLBE puts. This one disappointed me, but you know what? Didn't have an ego. Sold it. Look at the poor globe. This one was acting good after earnings, and Lewis will know, hung in there. And they try to hang on as much as possible. Now they're starting to buy it, but it's an Israeli company. No offense. Not for me. ALLY, when bearish, Roblox calls going off to no surprise, Roblox. Bed Bath and SPY put call ratio. Let's see what they're doing right here to close this off. To this point into the morning squeeze, basically what we expected and have seen in prior squeezes in the bear cycle. Example: if we wake up Monday morning and the world's not over, that's what happens. Everybody's offside. Some earnings positioning on both sides mixing as well. Top earning flows. Joby. Joby. So what that tells me, if the top earnings flow right now is Joby, which I will keep an eye on, but it's under $4, so I actually don't even care. But if that's the best they can come up with as of now, then I don't really like much. Off the current playbook, keep an eye on sweepers, and that's what they're saying. After this type of move, you want guys to follow it up with options. You know what I mean? It's almost like when if you pull you draw whatever, a pair of tens. You don't split pair of tens. Maybe if you want to split a winning hand, split tens. You want to split tens, double down. I want to see options guys double down right here after this run up and put their money where their mouth is. That's what I want to see. Let's look at the Rev is doing. IPO Dave, what he's chirping at. Nothing. You want to know why? Because he's underfunded. Let's go to Wally. What's Wally doing? He's off today, Wally Bloomberg. I knew something was up. The Rev, he's pissed. Highly correlated action again, which has happened in a bear market. Q's breadth is 98 up and 40. Everybody's off sides. It's off sides. Everybody's off sides. The market was just incredible what it did the last couple of days. Down, up, down. Oof. All right. So you know what? It really doesn't matter because all of the price action and range and good volume. Resistance is in the ES is 36.85. So that puts the SPYs around where? Where's the resistance on the SPYs? Here it is. It's every trend line, 370. You know what I mean? That's the 8-day. That's the 21-day. Right now we had good volume. I'd like to see it over 362, which it is 365. We need over 368, 370. That's the bottom line. And you know what? Coach probably has the level he's even put out better. But you know what? I didn't really have time. After things settled down, empirically with numbers and everything. Now I'm gonna sign off, watch Coach's 9:30 video, and know why things are happening. And try to come with my list of stocks with great price action right here on TGH, movement and range. And we'll go here. And if you're not familiar with it, go to TGH and go to the stock room. It's all here. I don't have to do anything. New York Stock Exchange, top US gainers, go to percentage gain. Hopefully one of mine's on there. INPX right above it. Boom. INPX. Got to put on my glasses. INPX is there. What else is it? AGFY. I had this one. I sold it. Another chart. So you can go right here. Roblox. Where's that trading? All right, 42. This is going to have range bound. You want Roblox? Where's Roblox? Where did I post Roblox today in our range? That would be the sweet spot. Roblox, sweet spot. A break below. All right, what does Lewis like? Trip like it. Trip like it. All right, likes TripAdvisor. Lewis likes TripAdvisor, so I'll try to talk him every way out of it I can. All right, here's TripAdvisor. I understand why. Lewis is probably looking at some option sweeps, and it's prone to have sweeps, and it's prone to have big moves like that. Believe me, that's a short squeeze. That's not an earnings play. It's going to be binary. You're not going to get hurt. You probably add above 25 if it gets above there. I get it. When Lewis likes, then I go, what's Expedia doing? Expedia, same chart same chart as same thing. If you're going to buy Expedia or you like TripAdvisor, same thing. Let's look at Booking, BKNG, which is the big one, the former Priceline, same thing. Travels somewhat in the danger zone. Like I said to Lewis, I get it. Crude came back down. I understand. But it has a bullish sweep, which is the real thing you want to see. This Joby, here's, you know what? Oh, that was before Joby. Plug bearish, Tesla bearish, PayPal bearish. So with that, maybe a lot of things are pulling you a little bit, but they should. When stocks pull back like this and people scramble for the shorts, they should pull back or they should take some profits. All right. TradeGATEHub, sweep bullish. Okay, Lewis, I got you. Let's go to right here for those active day traders that only care about taking money out of the market. And here it is. All you should care about, up on high relative volume. And there's a lot of stocks where, listen, it's 11:30 and there's a page full of stocks that have over 200% of their volume. Get out of here. Mara, Splunk, Visa, AGFY, Roblox, naturally mentioned it 14 times, News Corp, GeoEV, I mentioned it. Was Joby? Is Joby on there? Down on high relative volume. So this tells me that, listen, this is what I look at right here. If this was the first thing I pulled at, stocks up on high relative volume, a couple of pages. Stocks down on high relative volume, a half a page. So, right, that tells me right there what type of situation the market's in. What happened to SM? Oh, you know what? SM, didn't they have something to do with Clear? Well, that's bad. What's moving up now? What's breaking high today? Should all be caring about right here. Hopefully one of mine. Zoom. Uh-oh. Zoom's breaking high today, up 7%. Look at Zoom. Oh, NE Vero. Let's look at Vero. I like that stock. Vero. No, so we look at Vero. I see that. Could pop. You know what I mean? They're better. It's a catch-up trade. Not for me. Vero. What else? Breaking high today. HPP. Excel. That's Lewis's stock. Mara going. I saw option activity. Nothing really that sexy. DOC, Nile. What's breaking down on the day? Lulo's on the day. Schwab. What happened to Charlie? Charlie's not doing well here. The trading volumes are ripping, and this guy's going the other way. What's wrong with Charlie? Charlie Schwab going right there. So Morgan Stanley. You know what? No, Goldman Sachs. So let's look at these investment bankers, if you will. Charles Schwab. I don't like these things. Let's look at Hood. Hood sitting there at 10, no interest. Okay, I'll leave it off this. Any other question, guys? Lewis's bullish trip. Okay, it's Monday. Just like Monday morning, as coach says on Friday afternoon, you're not going to make it all. You can lose it all. Listen, it's a long week. Look at the moves. Look at the stocks. Stocks moves are making. The VIX is still over 30. It's wonderful action. This is where, you know what, even in your downtime, this is a time you should be, maybe even if you're live, go to your TradeView demo, maybe expand your horizons a little bit or get to know yourself a little better. You know what I mean? If you're a beer drinker and you only trade FX, maybe you want to try and have a Heineken. Trade some sort of instrument that will help you through or you walk you with. I'm not telling you to mix alcohol with beer, by the way. So beer before liquor, always sicker. Liquor before beer, never fear. So start with TradeView demo first and then get with the high trade. TradeView demo was beer. Okay. Leave it off here. I don't hold trains into earnings. He's right, 50 at best. I get it. Rally very powerful. Here's Jim. Another one-day wonder. They have been since the November top. This is a big day here. But it may, maybe today will be a one-day wonder. But with earnings coming into the picture this whole week, it will tell you sooner or later if it's a one-day wonder. You'll have concrete evidence for people to react upon instead of just hoping or waiting to see if the world doesn't end on a Monday or dancing between 12 Fed speakers in 1 week. There's not a lot of Fed speakers this week. So you know what? Let's calm down a little bit. Let's have a plan. Let's trade within ourselves. And I've always felt that when I'm trading my best, and pro athletes seem to say this, things go in slow motion. I never see Jordan score 60 and say, what the hell happened? He says things went in slow motion for me. You know what I mean? Let things happen slowly and matriculate. Don't be a rookie. All right. So let's be professional. Let's have a plan. And we're going to get through this together. If you're on it now, believe me, the best is yet to come. Trust me. So cheers, everyone. Thanks for sharing. Enjoy your day.